Good afternoon, everybody. Here is the tutorial video on how to complete day 4 and 5 of your August morning math. For this one, you have different text boxes that you can click into. Notice that my cursor changed again, so I'm going to click and then I can see where the text box is and then hover into the text box and double click to make the cursor appear. Now there was something different that I wanted to show you on this particular morning math. So I'm going to click, I just clicked out of the text box. Day 4, number 2 says split this tire into fourths. So you have to know what fourths means before you can split that tire into fourths. So remember, with fractions, fourths means you have 4 equal pieces, 4 equal size pieces. So to be able to do that, I'm kind of going to give everybody the answer on this one, but I'm going to come up here to this tool that says line. So I'm going to click it once, and then now I have my pointer has changed into crosshairs. So I'm going to come over to, let's see how the text box kind of appeared. So I'm going to come over to this image, and I'm going to click once and hold, and then drag my crosshairs down to create a line. So now I'm going to click out of it. Now I can go back up. So see, I have my pointer. So if I wanted to zoom, I could use the magnifying glass and then click and zoom in. But I want to use that line tool again and draw another line right there. Now it doesn't, so look at mine. I just did it. So it doesn't look exactly totally even. That's okay. Don't worry about it. My main thing is if we have to use lines on our papers, I want you to know that this line tool is what you would use to draw those lines. So same thing for down here on day 5, number 1, you're using less than, greater than, or equal to compare 742 to 724. So this one's just like our first day 1 and 2 morning work. So I'm going to come back up to that line, and then now I can create a tiny line to show which way. Now notice I'm having to click a new line. I don't want to be on that line. If that line is highlighted, I'll just change that line. I could then hover over one of those blue circles, and I should be able to create a longer line. So if you want to create a longer line on here, that's okay. It doesn't have to exactly fit into that little bitty space that you're trying to fit it into. So whatever you're trying to do, that's okay, as long as I can see some kind of, now this I wouldn't be able to count as correct because it's kind of not open to either number. Now, whenever I was going through school, I've taught this way as well, it opens up and wants to eat the bigger amount, okay, whenever you're trying to compare numbers like that. I've also heard that it almost looks like the beginning of an arrow that you're going to draw, and that the arrow points to the smaller number. Now, whenever I'm going through and looking 700 compared to 700, well, that's the same. Those numbers in the hundreds place don't help me figure out which number is larger. So I'm going to move to the tens place. I've got a 4 here and a 2 here. So between 4 and 2, which one is larger? And then that would mean that this number then is larger than 724. On number 2, how many sports can you think of that use a ball? List them over here. So if I follow that arrow, then I'm going to find another text box, which then I can double click into and start typing. And remember from the last tutorial, you can adjust the size of this. So I can even make it come out over here if I want to. If you want more space, whenever you start typing, say, I'm just going to say football. And if you want this text to be larger, you can just highlight it and come up here to the plus. And then every time I click plus, then that text gets bigger. On this kind of morning work, please don't mess with the font. Don't change the font. I want to be able to read it very well. So just edit the size if you need to. Don't make it super tiny. It makes it really difficult to see. So something like this that's way too tiny to see, I then actually have to zoom in to see what you've put. So make it so that if I'm just looking at the screen from here, I can see what you've written, you can see what you've written, and we don't have any confusion or questions about that. So that is that text box for number 2. Down here on the draw a bar graph using this data, I'm going to add a video in next week going over the answers. So this is how morning work is structured in the classroom. Whenever you come in, this morning work is on your place. You see it every single day. And it's what you are working on independently while I'm taking lunch count, while people are going to the bathroom, while people are refilling water bottles. So this you're working on independently first. And then around 8:30, 8:35, we come together and go over it. So I want to do that same thing for you. So I will record myself going over these papers so that you see how I teach it, what I say, if there's another way to do it, if we should add or subtract, how to draw a bar graph. So you will be getting that instruction from me. I think that's everything that I need to tell you about this one. Notice that the directions are under here. Please use a separate piece of paper to complete day 5, number 5. And then I say that I'm uploading a video sometime next week, so be on the lookout for that. Now, you don't have to show number 5 to me. I'm not asking you to take a picture of it and upload it to me. No, I just want you to practice with it at home. Get used to doing those bar graphs. And I may say bar graph and you may say, what in the world is that? So in the classroom, if there's something that someone is struggling with, I say just try your best. If you're not sure, move on to what you can do. Do what you can do independently first, and then wait for my video to show you how to do the ones you don't know how to do. I hope that makes sense, and if you have any questions, please reach out to me. See you guys.